How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Éire. It's great to have you back. I hope you've had a great week. It's time for us to get on with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at the R1300GS Adventure. It was just announced last week that it's coming out, and boy, does it look fantastic. We're going to be looking at 10 new things about this bike. So I hope I'm going to put in as much detail as possible. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check out their technical data sheet. I hope you guys will enjoy the video and of course reward me with a like and hopefully a comment. So I'll try and put in as much detail as possible. But here we go. Let's get started with 10 things you need to know about this new bike. Right, at number one, the dynamic suspension adjustment system. Now, it's the older generation. This is a new generation, and what this is going to take it just that one step further. It basically combines the dynamic adjustment of the front and rear dampening with the corresponding adjustment of the spring rate, so i.e. the spring stiffness. Now, depending on the ride mode that you've selected, the riding conditions and the maneuvers, the automatic adjustment of the spring basis ensures load compensation, which is fantastic. This makes it even more thrilling riding experience on all surfaces. I have to say that sounds pretty interesting. Now, my experience with the ESA system is pretty limited. I've got the ESA system on the F800GS Adventure, and you pretty much flicked a switch, and all it did was adjust the monoshock. So this, obviously, on the older 1200s, they had it. It was a lot more dynamic. So this just takes it one step further. It sounds pretty awesome. Can't wait to see it. Right, number two, the adaptive height control system. What this does is you can set the height of the bike electronically via the controls on the bike. So what this is going to do is if you're either at stop or you're going at very slow speeds, you can adjust the bike down by, I think they were saying, about 30 millimeters, which I think is pretty awesome. And also what this is going to do for benefit for shorter riders when you're on this bike, it means that it'll be a lot more accessible to get off and on the bike because you can lower it as well, which I think is pretty awesome. So that is one extra I think I'd definitely like to have. Number three, the bike is now going to come with 4 riding modes. The old GS Adventure came with 3. They've now expanded that and they've included an enduro mode. I suppose for those that wanted to take the bike even more hardcore, you can now set the enduro mode on it. So the ride modes you're going to get are rain, road, eco, which I think is rather nice, and then of course the enduro. Well, what that does is that will enable more enhanced riding experience off the beaten track, and it specifically sets the bike up for that mode. I've actually got it on the F800GS Adventure. I've got the enduro mode on that, so whenever I go off-road, I just adjust it and the bike feels totally different. The automated shift assistant is at number 4, and what this is going to do, it's going to basically negate the need for the clutch. It's fully automatic effectively, so all you do is you'll be able to select the gear that you want. You can even do a manual shift and down via the button on the handlebars, or you can just select the gear that you want. BMW wanted to just simplify your ride. I think that's what they've coined that phrase. So effectively what this does is that it removes that totally. So when you're in traffic, the bike will automatically select the gear down or select it up. You can then manually do it yourself. I think this is going to change the way we've all experienced our BMWs, and this is a great move by BMW to introduce this piece of equipment, and I'm super excited to go and actually physically see this bike when it's out. We've got a full LED headlight system there at number 5 with the new matrix design. You've got new auxiliary lights as well as standard, and of course you've got integrated indicators now in the handguards, which I think is pretty awesome. Now that could be a country setting, I don't know, because they do offer I think it's an enduro pack or something like that, where you get the stalks rather than have them integrated into the handguards, but I think this is going to be great. It looks fantastic. I have to admit the auxiliary light system looks great. I like it. It's very sleek. And of course, they've got the integrated indicators into the handguards. Man, they really have thought of everything here. It's not something I would have necessarily gone with, but being an adventure bike, particularly when you're using the handguards and you're in some rough areas with trees and branches and stuff like that. But I suppose they do have an option for that. So in hindsight, good job, BMW. This looks fantastic. I love the lighting system and the auxiliary lights, the indicators all look great. Really, really good look. And I have to admit that center LED light is working on me, and I think it looks great. Okay, number 6, riding assistant with active cruise control, front collision warning, lane change warning, and rear end collision warning. Now, this is most likely going to be available as an option. They'll probably call it a safety pack or something like that. What that does, well, first of all, you've got the adaptive cruise control system or active cruise control system, depends on who you're talking to. But obviously, you can set the speed, and of course, it'll adjust if someone comes in front of you. It'll adjust the distance between you and the car in front and match their speed. The system's great. I've seen it in cars. It's great to see this sort of technology in bikes now. The lane change warning, fantastic. Great idea. The rear collision warning as well. You know what this is going to do? It's going to add a lot more safe riding experiences for all of us, and it's a great piece of kit. Obviously, it's a pity it's not standard, so more than likely it's going to be optional equipment, but apparently that's going to be coming out for 2025. BMW introducing a new aluminium top case and side cases with the GS Adventure, which is also going to allow electrical interfaces for USB and charging sockets. And of course lighting as well, which I think lighting is just fantastic, particularly when you got big cases. You open them up, there's nothing like that, just that light that comes on. You can see what's going on in there. I'm not saying they're that deep, but I just love the way that they've done that. They really have thought out of the box. They're going to put lighting and even USB charging sockets. That's great. I presume it'll probably be a simple connector. You plug in the little socket into the case and it'll activate the charging kit. So really good idea. The cases look great. I like the design of them. So good job from BMW there to integrate, bring out a new case design. And I like it. I like the way the top opens up as well. It's nice and wide. Really good idea. Plenty of space on that. 37-litre top case and a combined 73-litre for the front and left side cases. Number 8, we've got the 30-litre aluminium fuel tank, and they've also included some mounting options for it as well, which I think's a really good idea. There's also something else I'll go into shortly as well. However, you've got 30-litre capacity, and of course they've integrated that into the design. It looks awesome. And then, like I said, they've got fasteners integrated into that as well, which I think is great, which will allow a 12-litre tank bag to be fitted to it as well. And of course, it has the hooks, which I think is great. So they've really thought ahead on that. The sheer width of the tank inspires confidence, they say, and provides effective frontal weather protection. So what that means is the tank is wide enough that it's protecting your legs from the rain and the wind, because normally they're exposed on the side of the bike. So awesome. Really awesome idea with that. Right, the engine is an Éire liquid-cooled 2-cylinder boxer engine 4-stroke, and it's chain-driven camshafts. Develops 145 brake horsepower, which is 107 kilowatts, 1,750 RPM. Followed by a torque rating of 149 newton meters, and of course the engine speed there is 6,500 RPM. Fuel consumption figures are 4.9 litres per 100 kilometers. If you have the ASA option, which is available in 2025, it'll bring that up to 5 litres per 100. So based on a 30-litre tank at 5 litres per 100, you're going to get a whopping 600 kilometer range with this bike, which is just fantastic. The CO2 figure is 113 grams per kilometer on the manual, and then the ASA option is 115. Acceleration is 3.4 seconds 0 to 100, and top speed is over 200 kilometers an hour. Finally, we're at the last one. Number 10 is power sockets. Now, the bike comes with USB sockets, and you have the option to install a 12-volt auxiliary socket as well, should you feel the need to. But the bike does come with a ventilated smartphone charging compartment, which is at the top of the fuel tank. It's a nice little waterproof compartment that has a hinge. You open it up, you connect the cable up to your phone, and you leave it in there and you close it down. And it enables fast charging as well. They've really thought that one through. I love the sound of it, to have your phone easily accessible on the top of the tank. Really good idea by BMW. I'd like to see this bike as soon as it comes out. So if anyone from BMW is listening to this video, let me know when this bike is out, because I'd definitely love to see it, guys. And that brings us to the end of this video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. The 10 new things on the BMW R1300GS Adventure. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.